Hello everybody and welcome to my video. This is Aya and I'm going to analyze London for the Romantic poet William Blake. So first things first, let's read the poem together. I wander through each charted street, near where the charted Thames does flow, and mark in every face I meet marks of weakness, marks of woe. In every cry of every man, in every infant's a cry of fear, in every voice, in every band, the mind-forged manacles I hear. How the chimney sweepers cry, every blackening church appalls, and the hapless soldier's sigh runs in blood down palace walls. But most through midnight streets I hear how the youthful heart's curse blast the newborn infant's tear and blights with plagues the marriage hearse. Okay, in this poem, we are going to talk about the main themes and the governed ideas. Then we will move to the shape and the structure of the poem. And finally, we will focus on the language and the literary devices included here. So, in order to understand the main themes in the poem, let's start with the poet William Blake. And we're looking for details that help us to understand the poem and not just any other details. Blake was born in London, where he actually lived for almost his entire life, and this gives the strong impression that the I in the poem, walking through the streets of London, is Blake himself, writing from his own experience. London comes from Songs of Experience. It was written in the 1790s, which is the time of the industrial, the time where there was great poverty, where the working classes were suffering. In London, Blake described the inescapable misery and poverty of London, and he seems to feel that the powerful institutions of the country, such as the church and the monarchy, are causing these problems. So he was frustrated and he was upset by the way that he saw the advances in science and industry actually destroying a lot of what he felt should be important to humanity. So that's the kind of angle this poem takes in terms of the context and themes. Let's move to the shape or the structure of the poem. As we can see, the poem consists of four stanzas, four lines each, and it has an alternating rhyme scheme, meaning it goes A, B, all the way through the poem. Man, ban, fear, hear, cry, sigh, appalls, walls, and so on. So that very regulated, consistent rhythm, rhyme scheme, and structure reflects the ideas of entrapment and constraint, and how people are restricted by the institutions in London as well as by themselves. However, this regulated structure, we have this imperfection. As we can notice that the first three lines and then the others in the poem are actually written in something called iambic tetrameter. This means lines of 8 syllables with alternating stressed and unstressed syllables. As we can see, particular rhythm that goes through each line. So we've got those first three lines. I wander through each charted street, near where the charted Thames does flow, and mark in every face I meet. But suddenly, that changes as soon as our speaker is confronted by misery, marks of weakness, marks of woe. This line contains 7 syllables, which is different. We don't have that same rhythm there. So Bleak is weakening the line here to reflect the weakness of those who are suffering. Talking about the language, as this long list of negative language, as you can see here in red color: marks of weakness, marks of woe, infants cry of fear, might forge manacles, helpless soldier sighs, no pawn, infants tear, plights with plagues, and all these are negative language. Our main focus we're gonna be on the first stanza. As you can see, the first line: I wander through each charted street. The verb wander, it immediately suggests that it doesn't matter where he walks in London. He doesn't have to plan his route to find this poverty and misery. It is really everywhere. The misery can be found and seen and heard everywhere he goes. The second line we can see near where the charted Thames does flow. We have here the word charted, which means something that is mapped out and that is introduces the idea of constraints and restriction. Also, you can see the word charted repeated, and this suggests that the whole city is affected. Wherever you go, you are constrained and locked in and trapped. It is also significant that it is not just the street that is trapped, but even the Thames River, even the natural elements of the city are under human control. And that was one of the things that Blake found really worrying. It was when humans tried to place control over the natural elements of the world. So the irony pointed out by Blake here is that the river can't really be controlled by the passing of the law. Now the same stanza also contains another example of repetition. Mark in every face I meet, marks of weakness, marks of woe. Now if you think about it, whenever a poet chooses to repeat something, it is to really hammer home the importance of it. So what can we think about these words? The repetition highlights the inescapable, repetitive suffering of those in the poem. And but the use of the word with the changing meanings, mark in every face, which means notice, and marks of weakness, which means signs. So the same word is used but now with different meanings. This could also reflect the poet's frustration at the changing nature of London, again at the hands of those in power. So this is all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and thank you very much.